One of these teams will join Bellarmine next week in the final match. Who will it be? Find out next on Quiz Kids.
It's the Bay Area Quiz Kids, brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Hey everybody, welcome to the second semifinal match. Two of our top four teams are here with us. Let's meet them now. First over here we have the Mission San Jose Warriors. And they're taking on the Mountain View Spartans. Let us say hello to the Mission San Jose team and Raymond Liu. Raymond, you have a strange passion for Canada. Tell us what that's all about.
Okay, well, I think that Canada, because I've lived there for about 5 or 6 years, there are many things that are similar between the Canada and the U.S., but there are also a few things that are different. So
well, what's something that's different that you find really intriguing and that you love?
Well, there's a lot of snow in Canada, and I really love shoveling the snow every day. It's
yes.
Great menial work that really builds the muscles.
Yes, and no snow in America, said the people of Boston and New York and the entire Upper East Coast.
Okay, well, right. That's a fair point.
But Canada's great. We love them. Jeffrey Lee, you play Chinese chess.
Yes, I'm either Vice President, Activities Coordinator, Secretary, or Treasurer of the club. I do not know which one.
And how does that differ from the chess that we're all familiar with?
Well, it's superior because it's Chinese, obviously, and it's mass-produced because it's Chinese. And then, you know, 1 billion people play it because it's Chinese.
That's great. So we've got Canada and China. All right, Richard Zhang, you want to talk about Michael Moore. Where is he from?
He's from Michigan.
In America?
Yeah.
Gosh, okay.
Well, he makes very entertaining movies. He might not always be factually accurate, but he's always very fun to watch.
And they make you think.
Yeah.
Right, they make you have an opinion. Well, good. All right, gentlemen, let's move on and play the game. I'm going to give you 3 categories. Pick one and get a chance to earn up to 100 points. Today's categories are the high point, MIT, or encore.
We're going to go with the high point.
The high point, all right. These words begin with HY. It's any device operated by fluid pressure like a garage lift.
Hydraulics?
Hydraulic.
Right. A gland in the brain that regulates sleep cycles and body temperature.
Hypothalamus.
Right. It's someone who pretends to have virtues until they're exposed as a fake.
Hypocrite.
Right. It's excessive, rapid, shallow breathing.
Hyperventilating.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It's purple flower or the Britcom character who was always keeping up appearances.
Hyacinth.
Say again?
A hyacinth.
I think...
Hyacinth?
Yes, yeah. That's right. It's the Cape Cod town that's the site of the Kennedy family compound.
Hyperion?
That's Hyannis or Hyannisport.
Okay.
And finally, it's the conic section that appears as not 1 but 2 curves.
Hyperbola.
You got it for 60 points. Congratulations. We'll be right back to meet Mountain View. Talking to the Mountain View team and Matt Salinaro. Matt, we don't have enough time to talk about this really intriguing thing. There's a kind of an alternative academy that juniors and seniors can take part in at Mountain View called Freestyle, and you're part of it, and as part of that, you do a senior project. What is your senior project this year?
Yeah, for my senior project, I'm trying to build a multi-touch table, so it's going to be like a giant touchscreen with it's basically using a projector and a camera to register where you're touching on the screen and be able to input
sort of like an iPad almost, but bigger.
Yes, except a lot bigger and less.
So we had our iPhone, now we have our pad, now we'll have our Salinaro. It's like this, so we walk around with giant table thing. Fantastic, I can't wait to buy one. Josh Cohen, you got a job.
I did get a job.
Yes, working at a nursery.
Yeah, the Los Altos Nursery. It's a good job, it's rewarding. It's a lot of work sometimes.
You like plants?
I like plants, yeah. Plants are pretty fun to be around, except some of the work that comes with like deadheading them and stuff isn't quite so exciting, but it's what you have to do when you work there, so it's rewarding.
I'm glad. And you get paid.
Yeah, that's
good. Zach Blumenstein, you formed a club called Glasnost.
Helped form, yeah. Glasnost, which is a reference to Soviet Russia, it means openness, and we basically talk about world issues.
But you do more than that, because you said you got to kind of get out the vote.
Yeah, that's true. We right now we're handing out voter registration forms to seniors who have turned 18 And earlier in the year, we did a mock election for the midterm election.
Well, this is great. So you're trying to get everybody involved in current affairs and the world around them. That's great. Folks, let's give you a chance to earn some points. Pick a category, MIT or Encore? Encore.
MIT.
MIT. K-E-Y. Nope. Name these things that contain the letters MIT. And they would be together. This former Massachusetts governor ran for the 2008 Republican nomination and has said he might run again.
John Kerry. Mitt Romney.
Don't laugh. By this form of cell division, a eukaryotic cell separates the chromosomes in its cell nucleus into two identical sets in two nuclei.
Mitosis.
Correct. This Japanese company manufactures automobiles and flat-screen TVs.
Mitsubishi.
Right. This James Thurber character secretly fantasizes about a more exciting life.
Mitch.
Walter Mitty. Popes wear this kind of hat and carpenters use this kind of box.
Miter.
Wait, no.
Miter.
That is right. This American World War I general was court-martialed for promoting the cause of a strong air force. That was Billy Mitchell. And finally, this claymation pair go to the moon. The human loves cheese, and the dog is smarter than the human.
Wallace and Gromit.
You got it. 50 points. We'll be right back with the three-for-all. Stay tuned. These two teams got to this point because of the hard work they did with their coaches. Let's thank them now. First from Mission San Jose, Mr. Solomon Hammer. And our old buddy from Mountain View, Mr. George St. Clair. All right, gentlemen, would you pick up your buzzers? It's time for the three-for-all. I'll ask a toss-up question worth 10 points. If you give me the right answer, your team will control that round and increase your points. 60 to 50, close game. Good luck to both teams. Taiwan and mainland China have few heroes in common, but one is what pioneer, Jeffrey?
Sun Yat-sen.
Which of Sun's proteges went on to become premier of the Republic of China until his death in 1975?
Chiang Kai-shek.
Chiang's Nationalist Party was known by the initials KMT. What's the full name of the party?
Kuomintang.
You got 40 points. Although you might think they're placed on Gothic cathedrals to frighten sinners, what grotesque creatures? Yes, Raymond.
Gargoyles.
In the Middle Ages, I'm sorry, it's just something I ate. In the Middle Ages, which animal became a common gargoyle form, perhaps because of its association with the deadly sin of pride?
Lion. Okay, lion.
Yes. Blue Fang's Lion Pride is a top-selling game for what mobile platform?
The iPhone.
iPhone.
You got 40 points. Of Newton, Huygens, or Doppler, who, in 1678, postulated a wave theory of light? Raymond.
Huygens.
Huygens' theory assumed a propagation medium for light waves. What did he call that medium?
Ether.
Ether.
And for 40, the idea of the luminiferous ether was abandoned after the publication of which of Einstein's theories?
Special relativity.
Special relativity.
You got 40 points again. Spanish isn't the most common language in every city in Spain. Catalan is the dominant language in which, Zach?
Catalonia or Barcelona.
Barcelona is right. Catalan is sometimes confused with what dialect spoken in north and central Spain?
Basque.
Castilian. Both William Randolph Hearst and Mario Cuomo failed in their bids to become mayor of what city? Yes, Josh?
New York.
Right. One of New York's airports is named for which Depression-era mayor?
LaGuardia.
Right. What was the name of the New York City's corrupt 19th century political machine?
Tammany Hall.
Tammany Hall.
Tammany Hall.
You got 40 points. This massive flying boat, now on public display in Oregon.
Spruce Goose.
Most propeller planes of the 1940s had 2 or 4 engines. How many engines were on the Spruce Goose?
8.
Yes. The Spruce Goose's only flight took place in which California harbor?
San Diego. Sure. San Diego.
Long Beach. This hero wandered into Iolcus wearing only one sandal. King Peleus then sent him on a quest. Jeffrey?
Jason.
What sacred ram pelt was Jason sent to retrieve?
The Golden Fleece.
Which witch helped Jason on his quest and helped kill Peleus, then got very angry when Jason abandoned him?
Medea.
You got 40 points. What nation was partitioned into oblivion by Russia, Austria, and Prussia? Yes, Josh.
Poland.
Which Russian ruler championed the partition and made friends with her old enemy, Frederick the Great, to do Poland in?
Catherine the Great.
Right. Poland did not become an independent nation again until 1919, but Napoleon created what duchy named for a major Polish city as a puppet state?
Krakow. Krakow.
Warsaw.
Oh.
Which wine country town is home to the northernmost of California's missions? Josh.
Sonoma.
According to Jack London, the name Sonoma is a Native American word meaning valley of what heavenly body?
The sun.
The moon.
That doesn't make sense.
What clergyman applied ideas that an essence called phlogiston caused combustion of gases, leading him to discover dephlogisticated air? Jeffrey.
Priestley?
Yes. You couldn't have gotten that before I had to say that word, did you? Phlogiston theory was an attempt to explain processes such as combustion and the rusting of metals, which are now understood as what?
Chemical reactions?
Chemical reactions?
Oxidation.
Oh, right.
On 24 March 2011, the government of this EU nation fell when its parliament rejected the government's austerity plan, forcing it to follow the lead of Greece and Ireland. Zach.
Portugal.
Yes. The Prime Minister of Portugal shares his name with what Athenian philosopher forced to drink hemlock?
Socrates.
For a different reason, the government of Stephen Harper fell on 25 March 2011 in what nearby nation?
Canada.
Get out of here. Yes, Canada. 40 points. Trisomy 21, the condition in which a patient... Yes, Raymond.
Down syndrome.
In Dreamcatcher, 4 friends save a child with Down syndrome from a group of sadistic bullies. Name the author of Dreamcatcher.
Smith?
Stephen King.
Oh.
What country's national anthem is set to the tune of the 18th century drinking song To Anacreon in Heaven? Richard.
Ireland?
No. You can steal.
Germany.
That would be the United States of America. We will be right back after these messages. We are back with a score of 240 to 190 and another toss-up question. It usually refers to a type of laboratory container, but what word can also mean a large... Zach?
Petri.
No, but what word can also mean a large, wide-mouthed drinking cup?
Flask, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Flask.
Beaker.
Oh.
Who served in Washington as a Wyoming congressman, Secretary of Defense, and most recently, Josh?
Dick Cheney.
Yes. As Secretary of Defense under George H.W. Bush, Cheney oversaw the first Iraq War, known as Operation what?
Desert Storm. Desert Storm.
For 40, on the first day of Desert Storm, which CNN reporter provided then unprecedented live coverage of the bombing of Baghdad, a fact made more succinct by his last name?
It's not Anderson Cooper, but I'm going to say Anderson Cooper.
It's Wolf Blitzer.
Oh.
What illustrator of Elsa Hermelin Minarek's Little Bear series created the children's books? Yes.
Maurice Sendak.
Yes. Name the boy who goes to where the wild things are.
Is it Max?
Max. Yeah, Max.
For 40, Max is sent to bed without his supper for making mischief while dressed in what animal costume?
Bear? Is it a bear?
No.
Lion? What is it?
I would just guess bear.
Bear.
A wolf. On which Hawaiian island would you find the Kilauea volcano? Matt.
Hawaii.
Good. On which Hawaiian island would you find the Napali coast?
Is that Maui?
It's not Maui.
No,
It's not Maui.
Kauai.
Kauai?
Yes. Canonized in 2009, Father Damien lived on Molokai, providing a ministry to sufferers of what disease?
Leprosy.
You got 40 points. Vitamin C is needed to synthesize which structural protein? Yes, Raymond.
Collagen.
Partial hydrolysis of collagen yields what substance often associated with jiggly-colored desserts?
Gelatin.
Yes. A form of gelatin can be obtained from what annually regenerating bony protrusions of male deer?
Antlers. Antlers?
Got 40 points. It had been in circulation for 50 years, but in 1909, the Lincoln penny replaced what design? Jeffrey.
Indian head.
The Lincoln cent was first issued on the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. What coin design was first issued in 1932, the 200th anniversary of its subject's birth?
The Washington quarter. Okay. Washington quarter.
In 1965, the composition of the dime and quarter were changed to a nickel-copper clad from an alloy of what metal?
Zinc or silver?
Zinc.
Zinc?
No, silver. The usually 6-page Rodong Sinmun is the official newspaper of the Central Committee of what reclusive Asian communist? Yes, Jeffrey.
North Korea.
The newspaper is headquartered in what North Korean capital city?
Pyongyang.
His son and heir apparent is known by the nickname the Little General. Name this leader of North Korea.
Kim Jong-il.
Yes, 40 points. They took their name from one of their castles, named the house of the current royal family of the United Kingdom. Josh.
Windsor.
Which country is ruled by a member of the House of Grimaldi?
Grimaldi, that sounds... Monaco. Monaco.
Prince Albert of Monaco graduated in 1981 from what Massachusetts college whose rival is Williams College?
Amherst? Is that Amherst? Try it. Amherst.
40 points. Dublin's Leinster House served as model for what Washington, D.C. building designed by James Hoban and first occupied, yes, Jeffrey?
The White House.
A complete gut and remodel was done on the White House during the term of which president?
Truman.
For 40 points, the TV series Mad Men featured footage of a televised tour of the White House conducted by which First Lady?
Betty Ford. Nancy Reagan.
No, this is the 60s, Jackie Kennedy. In 1869, Uriah Stevens formed what organization considered to be an early proto-union? Yes, Jeffrey?
Knights of Labor.
The Knights of Labor is the forerunner of the modern American Federation of Labor, or AFL. In the 1950s, the AFL emerged with what other union known by the letters CIO?
Congress of Industrial Organizations.
Yes. Another major national union is the IBT, or International Brotherhood of Teamsters. What animal can be found on the seal of the Teamsters Union?
Bear? A bear?
It's not the bear, folks. This one's the horse. Vacuum tubes worked on the principle that electrons are emitted from a heated metal in a vacuum. This effect was named after what prolific American inventor? Zach.
Edison.
Vacuum tubes were mostly phased out in consumer electronics by the 1970s, except for CRTs in televisions and computer monitors. What kind of tube is a CRT?
Cathode ray. Cathode ray tube.
Say it.
Cathode ray tube?
Right. Cathode rays are streams of which elementary particles that aren't found in the nucleus of an atom?
Electrons.
Electrons.
That's right, for 40 points. That is a close game, 380 to 350. We'll be back for the final round. Anyone could win it.
Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS.
30 points separate these two terrific teams, one of whom will be going on next week to face Bellarmine in the final match. 30 points is also the value of our questions in this final round. Let's put 3 minutes on the clock, and I wish the best of luck to both teams. Here's the first question. The first time the U.S. Supreme Court invoked the power of judicial review was in Josh.
John Marshall?
No. Was in Marbury versus Madison, but they did not use it again until more than 50 years later. In what case regarding slavery?
Dred Scott v. Sanford.
Right. Besides carbon and hydrogen, what is the only other element that must appear in ethers? Yes, Richard.
Oxygen.
Right. What city on the Red River is the second most populous city in Vietnam, as well as its capital? Jeffrey.
Hanoi.
Yes. A NASA Space Flight Center outside Washington, D.C. is named for what rocket scientist who launched his first liquid fuel? Yes.
Goddard.
Yes. Which Shakespeare play begins with Duke Orsino uttering the now? Yes, Richard.
Twelfth Night.
Right. He died in Sweden after tutoring Queen Christina. Who is the French philosopher known for saying, yes, Jeffrey?
Descartes.
Descartes is right. The Peasants' War in Germany collapsed in large part because the peasants failed to obtain the backing of what religious reformer? Josh.
Martin Luther?
Right. The highest state capital in the United States is what city? Josh.
Denver?
No. At nearly 7,000 feet, whose name means Holy Faith and is located north of Albuquerque.
Was it Santa Fe?
Yes. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide are the main culprits of what atmosphere? Yes, Raymond.
Acid rain.
Yes. Wall Street's triple witching hour always falls on what day of the week? Richard.
Friday.
Yes. The speaker thinks of saying elves to an apple grower who carries stones while saying, Richard.
Manual.
Yes. What one-time editor of the socialist newspaper Avanti later led a 1922 March on Rome? Zach.
I was going to say Eugene Debs.
No. 1922 March on Rome that put him in power as the fascist dictator of Italy.
Mussolini.
Right. Add the dots on the opposite sides of a die and you... Josh.
7.
Right. In return for winning the overlordship of Britain and the Princess Igraine, he let Merlin take his firstborn son, then tried to renege. Name the father of King Arthur. Raymond.
Uther?
Yes. It was officially created in 1849. Name this cabinet department that oversees federal... Yes, Josh.
Department of the Interior.
Right. What genericized trademark for plain sparkling water is derived from the name of a German town known for its... Yes, Zach.
Pellegrino.
No. Known for its mineral springs.
Tonic? I don't know. Okay. Tonic?
Seltzer.
Oh.
James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake inspired Murray Gell-Mann to give its name. Protons and neutrons. Yes, Richard.
Quarks.
Right. What musical form is best known by Liszt's Hungarian and Gershwin's Richard?
Rhapsody.
Yes. In 1647, the English dissenter and preacher George Fox founded what religious sect? Yes, Josh.
Presbyterian.
No. Also known as the Society of Friends.
Quakers.
Yes. The diameter of a hydrogen atom is roughly equal to what unit of length named? Yes, Raymond.
Angstrom.
Right. Which villain frames Muff Potter for the murder of Dr. Robinson, but leaps from a courtroom window when he's fingered for the crime? That's the end of the game. 470 for Mountain View. Mission San Jose's in the final 2.
Go to quizkids.tv to meet our teams, learn more about the questions on today's show, and to get tickets to see the show in person.
We are back with 2 terrific teams. Mountain View, we've loved having you all season. You played so well. You guys, of course, will be joining Bellarmine next week. Join us as we do a 2-part final match next week on Quiz Kids.
The following underwriters help to make this program possible. The San Mateo Credit Union. Additional support provided by the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry and the Knights Templar.